Hi there. Today, we are going to talk about why your iron might not be getting up to normal, even though maybe you're trying to eat high iron foods or you're even supplementing. And in case you didn't know, I'm Michelle Shepard, registered dietitian, owner of Westcoast Nutrition. And my job here is to help busy, motivated, connected, ambitious women get their body, health, and energy back so you can go back to thriving in all the other amazing areas of your life. Now, we're going to talk about 5 different reasons this might be happening, but the last one might surprise you. It has nothing to do with what you're eating and everything to do with something that's happening underneath. Now, first and foremost, you are just not getting enough. So if you're actually deficient on lab work, so your ferritin was low or your hemoglobin or MCV were low, you are going to need supplementation above and beyond your base needs in order to fill your stores back up as well as get everything functioning. And that can take quite a bit of iron. Always think about it. If you have, a hole, you're going to need to fill that back in. So it's not just covering it up and hoping that a little bit that might cover the top is going to fix your iron deficiency. We got to fill that deep hole back up so it's level again, and then get enough daily on top of that to maintain it over time. And that can take quite a bit more iron than people suspect it is, even if you weren't fully deficient and you're maybe just suboptimal, which is something we talked about in my last video. Now, the second reason of the 5 today is that most of your proteins are plant-based. Now, I want to be clear, this does not make plant-based proteins bad. It doesn't make your choice to eat them bad, whether that's preference or ethics. But the iron in plant foods both is quite low compared to the iron in animal foods in similar portions. And the iron is less bioavailable. So we have a harder time getting it out of the food and absorbing it into our bloodstream, even if it's a high iron food like dark leafy greens or kidney beans. And so it's going to be likely that you need about 1.5 times or more iron than your plant-based counterpart, or so your omnivorous counterpart, in order just to get the same amount. So you might need to make sure you're upping your iron sources if you're eating plant-based. If it's just a matter of convenience, maybe including some iron containing like animal proteins if that feels good, or potentially a lot of my plant-based or vegan clients need to supplement, and that is okay. We just have to get what you need to get in the way that's most likely to be consistent long term. There's no shame in not being perfect or getting everything completely naturally. Now, number 3 is your iron losses are high. Now, this is most common in my clients who have heavy or long periods. So PCOS, endometriosis, even those of you like me who are late 30s and up, perimenopause, those fluctuations in estrogen sometimes cause really heavy or really long periods, and then they might go back to normal. You can lose quite a bit of iron during that time, and so you may need to supplement or up what you're doing from food in order to replace those extra losses. And now remember, women already need almost twice as much iron as men, often in fewer calories if you're smaller than your hubby. And so it's going to be important that we start to pay attention to this because it's key for healthy fat loss, healthy metabolism, mood, motivation, drive, energy, all the important things. Now, number 4, you've been supplementing because you were low, but you didn't do it long enough. Hands up or down in the comments if you took a supplement, started to feel better after 3 or 4 weeks and thought, cool, I don't need this supplement anymore. Or you took a supplement and then were really consistent, but it went back in the cupboard instead of beside your coffee maker, and you forgot it for 3 or 4 weeks and then started again. You are going to need to supplement for 3 months after your iron stores normalize in order to fill up those deeper stores. So you've got a little bit of a well to draw on as food intake goes up and down. None of us eat the exact same amount of iron every day, depending on the time of your cycle. If you're still getting one, your needs might vary. And so we really want those nice deep stores full to hold us through. What happens in your case is we often see you feel a little bit better, you come off the iron supplement 2 or 3 weeks later or a month or 2 later, you're tired and draggy again, and so you just get this kind of off on thing. So make sure you are supplementing long enough, demonstrate normalization on blood work, and then keep taking it for an extra 3 months. Now, the last one, sorry, second to last, there's 6, not 5, you guys, I lied. I'm so sorry, you're getting a bonus one today, but your overall protein intake is low. So you might be eating, high iron proteins like beef or pork or dark meat poultry, like chicken thigh is one of my favorites, so versatile. Maybe you're doing lamb or those dark green, leafies, things like kidney beans or black beans. But if you're not getting enough of those each meal, or you're not getting some of them daily, you're not going to get enough. And a lot of my women have really small protein portions. So if you're tracking, aiming for a good 20 or even 30 grams or more of protein per meal, and including one of those high iron protein sources at least once a day, will get you a lot closer to your goal more consistently, which is going to help fill those stores up so you can feel energized longer and more sustainably. And now the actual last one, what is number 6 and not number 5, is your gut might be blocking iron absorption. Now, this is mostly true if you have demonstrated gut issues. So if you are bloated, if you're struggling with reflux, constipation, loose bowel movements, foul smelling gas, something is not right down there more than once a week, this might be a thing for you, especially if you've been supplementing inconsistent and not feeling better or not seeing those numbers goes up on blood work. What can happen is twofold. So if things are moving too quickly, if you tend towards loose bowel movements or diarrhea, we're actually just not having enough time to absorb that iron in our food. If it's the opposite, somewhere in between, so constipation, bloating, or that kind of foul smelling gas, sometimes you can have gut bacteria that secrete signaling molecules that inhibit the absorption of iron in your gut. And some of those, that's because they need iron to survive. So that can actually block your body from absorbing iron higher up, so that the bacteria gets more of it coming down into your gut. And so if you are struggling with weight loss, with energy, with iron deficiency, and you've got gut issues, this is one of the reasons I don't just want you guys to go like cut out all the calories when you're stuck, because there might be an underlying root cause like this one that if we fix it makes everything easier. And my God, will you feel better? So let me know either by replying to this email or in the comments below if you're on YouTube. Did any of these surprise you? Are you struggling with any of these? What questions do you have about iron, energy, fat loss, and health? I would love to answer them in the next video.